Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerfherder Council.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nerfherder Council. I am your host, JT. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, as well as the Facebook and YouTube of the Virtual Cantina Network. We are also on the Nerfherder Council Twitch page. We are live at those locations every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are, as always, brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you would like to get awesome customizable Nerfherder Council swag, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. And if you would like to get some killer Virtual Cantina Network swag, just go to tpublic.com/user/virtual-cantina. So, guys, AJ will be here in a minute. It would not be an episode of the Nerfherder Council if we did not have technical issues. So he's rebooting his router. Tonight's going to be pretty fun, I think. We are going to live on the air here, so we didn't do this ahead of time. We are going to try to see if AI can rewrite Star Wars better than the writers actually did themselves. So I'm going to try and hold back from throwing Purgle into the mix, but I think it might be kind of funny if I did do that. So that might be kind of interesting. Obviously, you know, the sequel trilogy is low-hanging fruit. Matt Wardlaw acting like an asshole again. By the way, guys, the views of the Nerfherder Council don't necessarily reflect those of the Virtual Cantina Network, and there may be some bad language. So if you're not into that, go ahead and turn the show off. Matt Wardlaw, he just is one of the most singularly unattractive people I know. It says, could AI give us a better John Drake for this podcast? I think everyone knows that's a guarantee. Warlock, I think that's I think that's a guarantee, man. Kale McLeish, good to see you as always, man. He says this should be an interesting episode. Yeah, I'm interested to see what is going to happen, because I am not good with the whole AI thing. I know it's everywhere, and people are using Chat GPT for, you know, job resumes and writing articles and all kinds of stuff like that. I am not good with technology, so I'm very interested to see how this comes out. We had debated whether or not to do it ahead of time and just kind of read off what we were getting. But then we kind of thought it'd be more fun to kind of just do it live on air. So, you know, kind of see what happens, see if we have to change things up a little bit. And again, you know, my initial idea, and AJ's computer bombed on him as we were talking about this right before we went live. So we're really doing it live tonight. But you know, he wanted to know how specific we were going to get. And I said, I think it'd be kind of cool just to let's, you know, again, I know it's low-hanging fruit, but we could say, you know, rewrite Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And as we have to narrow it down, we have to narrow it down. So in either case, it's going to be really, really interesting. So again, I'm terrible with technology, so I'm fascinated to see how this whole thing works. I do not use AI for writing and things like that. I know a lot of people at my job do, and I just kind of feel like it's the whole Top Gun thing, where, you know, he talks about, you know, in Vietnam, our pilots became dependent upon missiles, and you know, they created Top Gun to go back to old school dogfighting techniques. So I kind of like to keep my writing skills up. See, that's one thing that Matt Wardlaw ought to appreciate, considering his wife is a published author, and Matt writes for a very popular music magazine. So I'm sure he won't give me any credit for that, but you know, it's because he's an ass. But Kale McLeish, he says, funnily, I know the opposite. There's no better John Drake than the live action one. Thank you, Kale. See Wardlaw, I do have fans. You're the outlier, at least on my podcast. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas that you'd like to see us try and pop into these AI Chat GPT, whatever the hell platforms AJ's found, if you have any ideas, let us know. We're more than happy to take your guys' suggestions and kind of see exactly, you know, what comes out here. I'm torn as to whether or not I want to kind of be the negative guy and say, rewrite the stuff that I don't really care for, like, Rebels season whatever. We could just say that. I've gone on record as saying I'm not the biggest fan of episode 7. I wonder if we should do that and see, okay, well, would AI have made this better? Or if it would be something where take something, that's pretty much universally regarded as perfect, something like, The Empire Strikes Back or Rogue One or something like that, and, kind of pop that in there and see what artificial intelligence would do with something that is, completely beloved. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see which way we're able to go with this. AJ is still having computer problems apparently, so still waiting for him. Super quick update, because I know there's some people in the chat and people watching that have messaged me and all kinds of good wishes, which I appreciate. My grandson is born, so he came into the world. This is awesome. So this is very apropos. He came into the world last Thursday on July 24th at 11:38 a.m. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, my grandson's a Star Wars kid. It was when I realized what time he was born, I was like, oh, we couldn't have planned that any better. So I will obviously never forget his birthday, for obvious reasons, but I will also never forget the time he was born. So in case my stepdaughter, amidst all the details that she has to remember for this, if she ever kind of gets flustered and kind of forgets what time he was born, I'd be like, I got this. He's a Star Wars kid, 11:38. So Mumbo Jimbo, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in, man. He says, wow, congratulations. Thank you very much, man. It's been a very crazy emotional week for us. He's actually, as we speak, he's upstairs. He's visiting. So I wanted to bring him down here so that he could be on the show, but if he spits up on my computer, then I got to buy a new machine. So that's, not good. All right, still waiting for AJ here. Apparently, I should just look up AI and say, hey, AI, what would AJ do as a co-host right now? I think I might do that. I've never looked this up before, so let's see if we can find an AI program. Let's just type in Chat GPT. All righty. Introducing Chat GPT. Let's see. Try Chat GPT. Ask anything. Why is my younger brother not back on the computer? All right, we'll start there. Can you clarify a bit? Are you asking why your younger brother hasn't returned? Okay, that's no fun. Oh, there he is. Okay. I was about to AI get an AI co-host.
Hey, they'd be more charismatic than me, so might as well.
Nice. Look at that.
Anyway,
Kale McLeish says, there we go. He says, wait, isn't this whole episode just about changing one letter one letter by one letter for AJ? Nice. Very much so. Mumbo Jimbo, he says, I've used Chat GPT a lot and I like it. Yeah, I was mentioning, AJ, that I have never used it. I think I've typed something in a free one twice or something, and I feel like it'll make me soft, and I don't really like that. So, but
oh yeah, but it's what all the kids are doing these days, so we kind of have to stick with the times,
Well, the old rich white men of the world still like when you can put two sentences together on your own. So, and as long as there's an old rich white man, writing my paycheck, then I will retain that skill. So, all right. So now that you are here, do you have these search engines up?
Yeah. Sorry to leave you to hang out to dry there, because you don't know shit about AI, and you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'll cover for AJ's internet troubles.
Oh, that's okay.
Bunch of crap, but oh well. It's funny. I actually quit Verizon and went over to AT&T specifically, so I didn't have these problems. So, oh well.
See, I'm upgrading to fiber. I just have to figure out how long it takes them to install it.
Well, at our age, we do need to upgrade to fiber. You're right.
I was waiting for that. Kale McLeish says, when am I making you guys sit through Moonraker, by the way?
The James Bond conversation. Yes.
That we can do that sometime. In fact, I got to go over. we never talked about my whole Patreon idea, my secondary show idea. So since
Hey,
we have a Patreon, so
speaking of new technology, there's a nice little feature on StreamYard now that we tried out before. The show comments on stage. We could just get a run of all chat going up on the screen. We can still highlight, but that way everybody can see, because everyone on each platform can't see what everyone else is saying on other platforms. So Facebookers can't talk to YouTubers and vice versa.
Okay. I like the feature thing, but as long as I can still feature, because I like to, when someone is kind enough to leave us a nice comment, I like to kind of, make sure that we bring that up as a conversation topic. So,
all right. So, how do you want to just do it? You want me to present the actual prompts as they're going in? It's gonna be a lot of reading for our audio viewers.
No, I think we could just read them out ourselves. We can leave it off the screen. There'll be enough reading if we have comments and whatnot.
Okay. Well, let me set the stage a little bit. This idea came to me because, well, there's a lot of talk of the use of AI in writers' rooms and whatnot these days anyway. And a lot of people, what's the most common complaint about modern Star Wars is it's that it feels like it's poorly written or soulless, right?
Yeah. So
I figured let's get something that is poorly written and soulless to write us some Star Wars and see how bad it really gets. Nice and simple, right? Like, oh, this is so easy. Let's just, apparently AI is going to turn us all into Wall-E humans. So let's see if it can write us a Star War, huh?
So I know what I want to start with, because I thought of this right before you jumped on, because I wasn't sure. I was saying I wasn't sure if we should do something that we're not fans of and see if it can be improved upon, or something that everybody loves and see if they added to the story or anything. But I realized that there's something that kind of fits both bills that we can do, and you mentioned it in our brief non-blurry, non-freezy talk before your computer went down, right before we went live. Our first prompt should be for it to write season 2 of Kenobi. Because
interesting. Okay.
So you're not a Kenobi fan, and I'm a huge Kenobi fan.
Right.
This ought to be interesting.
All right. So we're going to say write a plot synopsis for a second season of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus. Any other details you want to throw in?
No, like I said, let's just start there, and then if we have to be more specific, we can then be more specific. So,
okay, that is the nice thing, is you can always add follow-on stuff to this as a conversation. Yeah. All right, well, we're using ChatGPT primarily for this until all of our free use credits run out, and then we'll hop over to other stuff.
Nice.
So I've got 4 of them lined up. We're gonna be stacking ChatGPT versus X's Grok versus Google's Gemini versus Microsoft's Copilot. So we've got all kinds of options for this tonight, guys. All right. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2.
Oh, boy.
6 episodes, subtitled Shadow of the Past. And it's set 8 years before A New Hope. So we've got a 2-year time jump.
Okay.
Plot synopsis. Having come to terms with Anakin's fall and his own guilt, Obi-Wan Kenobi has returned to the shadows of Tatooine. But the galaxy is shifting, and so is the role of the Jedi in it. Whispers of surviving Jedi reach Kenobi's ears, and with the Inquisitors still hunting, Obi-Wan is forced to reckon with a growing truth. Survival isn't enough. Some things and people must be saved. When a distress signal from a long-lost Jedi ally, Quinlan Voss, reaches him through an old rebel smuggler, Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine once again. He travels to the ruins of a forgotten Jedi enclave on the planet Arcanus, where he uncovers a shattered Force artifact containing visions of a mysterious prophecy, a fracture in the Force tied to Darth Vader's rise.
This is the Nerfherder Council. That planet's pronounced Arcanus.
Yes, sorry. Forgot to class up the place. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
As he searches for Quinlan and tries to understand the visions, Obi-Wan finds himself hunted by a secret Inquisitor known only as the Pale Hand, a former Jedi archivist turned predator who believes Obi-Wan's death is the key to fulfilling the prophecy and ending the Jedi for good. Meanwhile, Darth Vader becomes aware of Obi-Wan's movements, but is disturbed by his own increasingly unstable connection to the Force. Ghosts of his past, including Padme and remnants of Anakin, begin to surface in unexpected ways, challenging his loyalty to the Emperor and his identity as Vader. Kenobi reluctantly allies with a young, Force-sensitive scavenger named Korra, a survivor of Order 66, hiding in the industrial world of Gamorra. Through her, Obi-Wan begins to see what Jedi could become, not guardians of tradition, but guides to renewal. What do you think?
Well, Cale McLeish is a big fan. He says, "Dude, I actually want this. This sounds fantastic." I gotta say, it sounds pretty good. I think it's a little derivative. Obviously, it's pulling from a crap load of like fan theory stuff and ideas.
Mhm.
I do like the planet Arcanus. Cale McLeish, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamorra? Nice. Yeah, I like that. I think I'd be happy with it. I don't know. I think one of the things that was the most interesting to me about the first season of Kenobi was it was kind of a more personal series. It was very much, his internal struggle and stuff like that. This seems a little more broad, so I don't know how that would affect my enjoyment of it. I mean, I'm sure I would love it. I mean, it's Kenobi, but I think a lot of my enjoyment came from the first season came from the fact that it was very intimate, I guess is the word I would use. So
fair point.
You not being a fan of...
Anyone wants to read this, by the way, I put it up on the screen
for all of our audio viewers.
Right. Yeah. Also, anybody who's watching on a tablet or a phone, you're just fucked. Sorry. No, I like this idea of following up with Quinlan Vos, though.
Quinlan Vos being in, it's awesome.
That is actually a really cool idea. That's one of the things I liked about the first season of Kenobi was the idea that that's just a weird little plot thread from the Clone Wars that he and Quinlan kind of had this like frenemies kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Like there's a current storyline in WWE between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and they're called Allies of Convenience. I feel like that's a perfect descriptor for Quinlan and Obi-Wan. It's
yeah, it is.
They don't really get along or like each other, but they respect each other,
Isn't the pale hand something that already exists? I feel like I've seen that name or term before. Or am I thinking? Isn't there?
Mara Jade's nickname was the Hand or the Emperor's Hand. That was her nickname. Was the Emperor's Hand.
Why was I thinking it was like the name of a ship or something?
Oh, it's probably somewhere in a book somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's the thing with AI is it's not creative. People think it's creative because they're reading something that they've never read before, but it's all just bits and pieces of other things just rearranged in a way that you haven't heard. If I was to ask the same question a second time, it would give me a different answer. That's the thing. It's just making shit up on the fly.
I think another thing that kind of gives me pause here is it says,
what else do you want to know about this, by the way? We can ask follow-up questions.
Why does Darth Vader have an increasingly unstable connection to the Force in the story? That kind of doesn't sit with me well, because with the outcome of the first season, and then especially how we see him in Rogue One and A New Hope and Empire, he's like straight dag nasty evil. So that's okay. Invisible Hand. All right, thank you, Cale. I knew it sounded familiar. Okay. All right. It's Gus Metal Joe because Millennium Falcon. Nice. All right.
So Darth Vader's increasingly unstable connection to the Force is rooted in internal contradiction, a spiritual and psychological war that's intensifying beneath his cold mechanical surface.
All right. And it's got a breakdown. So how it fits canonically and thematically. Vader's identity is fractured. Anakin Skywalker was emotionally driven, passionate, loving, fearful. Darth Vader is built on repression. He denies Anakin, denies love, and seeks only control. After his near defeat and mercy from Obi-Wan in Season 1, a seed of doubt is planted in Vader. He claimed Anakin is gone, but deep down he knows that's not entirely true. Instability arises because the Force flows most clearly through truth and purpose, and Vader is lying to himself.
This is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I think it.
I wouldn't be mad watching this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dark side is fueled by emotion, and Vader's emotions are suppressed.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me based on what we get in subsequent, subsequent movies and stuff like that. It's all right. So visions and echoes interfere with his focus. In this season, Vader experiences unwanted Force visions, hallucinations, or echoes of his past. Padme reaching out in sorrow, a child's voice calling him father, Anakin's reflection in his own mask. These aren't sent by the Jedi or the light side. They're manifestations of his subconscious and the imbalance within him. He doesn't understand them, and it unnerves him. He begins to distrust the clarity of his own power. Okay, you know what? The more I think about this,
I feel like a lot of this has been covered in the Marvel comics. There's a lot of Darth Vader stuff, and they really investigate this whole idea of like, well, Anakin is still in there somewhere because he resurfaces in Return of the Jedi. So where is he, and what's that like between getting in the suit and Episode 6?
Here's a, by the way, we got to get to discuss Metal Joe's comment in a second here because that's glorious. The more this goes on, I'm wondering, do we even need Vader in Season 2 of Kenobi? Isn't that a little derivative? Like you're just going to keep going back to the Vader Kenobi well?
No, I don't think we need him at all. I think that's one of my beefs, and a common complaint with Season 1 is that throwing that extra season of television in between Episode 3 and 4 already like kind of undermines the whole thing of, oh my God, I haven't seen this guy in like forever. Oh wait, it was actually 10 years ago, instead of 20.
Yeah.
So if they've now seen each other, in this hypothetical second season twice in the intervening 20 years, although maybe they don't cross paths, who knows? But why would you follow Vader if he's not tied to Kenobi's story?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just, the more I think about it, I don't think we need. Maybe that's the next question. Do we really need Darth Vader in this? Can we have it without him?
Let's do it.
All right, so we are asking the Chat GPT, do we really need Darth Vader in Season 2? Oh, yeah, in this. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's see. Rewrite it without Vader. Okay. Here we go. It says, absolutely, we can remove Darth Vader and still tell a compelling, meaningful story that deepens Obi-Wan's character arc while expanding the Star Wars galaxy. Oh, yeah? The Nerfherder Council be the fucking judges of that.
Yeah, right? Damn robot.
Okay, so it's called the
Hollow Path.
The
subtitle has changed now.
And then we have to get to Joe's comment because we totally have to do what he said. All right, you want to read this or you want me to?
Go for it, buddy.
All right, so updated plot summary with no Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi, now settled into the rhythm of exile on Tatooine, receives a coded message meant for Quinlan Voss. There's Quinlan Voss again. I love it. A fellow Jedi survivor. It comes from the Hollow Path, an underground network of Force sensitives, Jedi fugitives, and sympathetic smugglers helping people escape the reach of the Inquisitors. The message warns of a secret Inquisitor operation on the outer rim world of Val Ren. Here we go. Where Force-sensitive children are being abducted, not to be killed, but studied. The Empire, it seems, is experimenting with new ways to suppress or manipulate Force potential, led by a rogue scientist named Dr. Kellen Vort, once part of the Republic's Science Corps. Obi-Wan, compelled by his duty and haunted by a Jedi's legacy of inaction, decides to act, this time not for war, but to save the next generation from being erased. He journeys to Valren and joins forces with a network cell led by Cora Venn. There's Cora again. A resourceful young pilot who grew up in the ruins of a Jedi-seized world. All right.
I don't even know what that last part means. Jedi seized world, like the Jedi took it over?
Yeah.
Weird.
All right. So new antagonist, the Pale Hand. A former Jedi archivist, is archivist or archivist? Who cares?
Sure.
It's over. It's overarching or overarching. A former Jedi archivist turned Inquisitor. Asshole, can you read? What a dumb dick. A former Jedi archivist turned Inquisitor. The Pale Hand is quiet, methodical, and unnervingly calm. Unlike other Inquisitors, she seeks not destruction but extinction, a final severing of the Jedi lineage through erasure of
knowledge, memory, and legacy.
I
Come on.
No, I know. I just kept wanting to say eraser. It's like I was getting it. She believes the Jedi were always flawed and that ending their legacy is an act of mercy for the galaxy. She sees Obi-Wan as a relic keeping that past alive, and she wants to dismantle him. Yeah, that's not bad. Themes: legacy versus erasure. Obi-Wan isn't fighting to preserve the Jedi as they were, but to protect their memory as something so something better can grow. Hope as rebellion. Helping one child survive means more than defeating a Sith. The Force beyond the Jedi.
Well, that's not destroying what you hate. That's saving what you love.
Yeah, very well played. And you didn't stumble over your statement like me. The Force beyond the Jedi. Obi-Wan begins to see how Force-sensitive people are adapting in non-traditional ways. Herbalists, monks, even dissidents tapping into intuition or empathy unconsciously.
This is picking up some really cool ideas, actually.
Yeah.
Like the Emperor did his best to snuff out the Jedi, but Force-sensitive people still continue to be born. So I love this idea that, Obi-Wan learns that just because you're not a Jedi doesn't mean what did Luke say in episode 8? Like to say that the Jedi control the Force is vanity or something like that?
Hubris or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. All right. So key arcs. Obi-Wan moves from guilt-ridden exile to I got a problem with that. He got over that guilt-ridden exile crap, in the first season. Once he defeated Vader, he was like back to kind of like the Obi-Wan we know. So I didn't see the whole guilt-ridden thing. That's kind of anyway. Obi-Wan moves from guilt-ridden exile to compassionate protector, realizing his duty isn't to quote unquote return the Jedi, but to help others survive the darkness in small, powerful ways. Cora Venn, a skeptic who's never seen a Jedi and doesn't trust them. Over time, she comes to believe in the good they once stood for through Obi-Wan's quiet strength. The Pale Hand, a cautionary tale of what happens when you intellectualize suffering and forget empathy. She views her mission as clean and necessary, making her terrifyingly calm. I like that. Although that's kind of
like a Thanos situation.
Yeah, and also it's kind of like a Thrawn situation, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Thrawn too. Yeah, where it's all calculus to him. He has no empathy.
All right, it says in the final episode, Obi-Wan leads a daring mission to extract the children from Vort's facility. He doesn't ignite his lightsaber until the very end, choosing subtlety and strategy over spectacle. Okay, I like that. He defeats the Pale Hand not with strength, but by refusing to destroy her, forcing her to face her own buried grief. I bet that battle would last more than like 4.1 seconds or 1.4 seconds, whatever the hell it is. The children are freed, the facility is destroyed, and Obi-Wan ensures the hollow path remains hidden and growing. Epilogue. Obi-Wan returns to Tatooine changed, not restored, but focused. He writes down everything he's learned, placing it in a coded holocron, not for himself, but for someone else to find one day. Let's try Joe's thing, and I know Kale's got an idea too.
Yeah, so, I like both of these. Let's do it.
Yes. The first one, Discussmental Joe says, AJ, please make the last question, and how would this synopsis be different if it was directed by George Lucas? Man, those are both great ideas, guys. Nice work. This is interesting. I kind of want to have it like it'd be a different episode, but I kind of want to have it do like a plot synopsis for a movie that hasn't come out yet, and just compare the AI one to what we get in the theater.
All right, let's see how well ChatGPT knows the mind of George Lucas. It says, if George Lucas wrote the second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the story would likely shift in tone, scope, and philosophical emphasis. While the Disney Plus version, and even fan rewrites like the one above, focus on trauma, redemption, and grounded character arcs, Lucas would empathize myth, morality, and the symbolic arc of history. Here's how the synopsis might be reframed in Lucasian style. Ooh,
Lucasian. Wow.
First, now it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Path of Light. And it's described as a mythic opera heavy on allegory and visual metaphor. So now it says, years after the Jedi fell and the Republic turned to Empire. Okay, well, there's a problem right there. It's building empires. Obi-Wan Kenobi watches over the boy who may one day restore balance, but Obi-Wan himself is lost, a warrior with no war, a monk without a temple. One night beneath the twin moons of Tatooine, Obi-Wan has a vision, a radiant tree burning in a void, its roots reaching towards shadow. He awakens with a name in his mind, Eldavarus, a child born on a distant moon, said to speak in dreams and see through the Force without training. The vision, he believes, is sent by Qui-Gon.
Yes.
Compelled by the mystery, Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine and journeys to the edge of the galaxy. Along the way, he discovers a community of Force worshippers who predate the Jedi, the Dai Bendu, and learns that the Force has begun to fragment in the galaxy. Jedi and Sith, War and Empire have pulled it off balance. Not bad. I'm getting a little worried here, bud. I'm telling you. I mean, the robots are writing some good Star Wars.
Robots. I don't know how I feel about that whole, Jedi and Sith War have pulled it off balance. Like, it's not, the Force isn't supposed to be some natural resource that you can exhaust. It's not like
the point.
It's not like crude oil.
Well, it's like they tried to do with the Acolyte, where they say, it's not just like the Jedi who control the Force or the Sith who control the Force. Like, there's other ways to tap into it, and you get like the witches and things like that. So this idea of like these two major factions have like drawn so heavily on the Force that it's kind of out of whack now. I get it.
Okay. I mean, I guess we always are hearing about. By the way, I got the hiccups tonight for some reason. I apologize. But yeah, we do keep hearing about, bring balance to the Force a lot throughout, the Skywalker saga. So I guess that kind of makes sense. All right. So moving on, new villain.
Commander Malvik, a former Clone Wars strategist who believes in destiny and order. Malvik has built a philosophical cult of his own, the Order of Clarity, seeking to rebuild the galaxy through precision, purity, and Force equilibrium. He has found Eldavarus and intends to use her to restore balance, in quotes, by erasing extremes from the galaxy, including Obi-Wan and the last traces of Jedi idealism.
Well, how would that bring balance?
Isn't that one of the complaints about the Jedi and the Sith? Is it's like only good side, only dark side. That's it. Like, you can't mix them. You pull from one or the other, nothing else. So that's pretty extreme.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to balance, like, taking out all the good guys and the good stuff doesn't seem like it would, be balancing it exactly.
Well, I think it's saying
maybe
that
it's
the
just
Sith
me.
are basically gone. So, or as far as they know, the Sith is gone. So, you just got to eliminate their enemy, the polar opposite of them, and then everybody else is somewhere in the middle.
All right. Okay. All right. So key differences. Go ahead.
So, key differences in a Lucas version. The tone, we already talked about that. Dialogue, formal, almost Shakespearean in moments. I don't know if I call George Lucas's dialogue Shakespearean.
Yeah, right. Not exactly the word I would use.
Visuals, bold color theory, heavy use of dream sequences. Maybe? Must be pulling from the prequels on that one. The Force is cosmic and mystical, a will that guides fate compared to the original version where it's more emotional and psychological, a personal spiritual path. Okay, so it's like the broad approach versus the individual approach.
Okay.
The villain is more a philosophical villain than a literal threat like the Inquisitor. And it's talking about breaking the cycles of history rather than hope surviving through small acts of resistance. I don't know if this is quite George Lucas-ish, but
it definitely feels more George Lucas-ish to me. I think one of the things that the newer programming has focused on is more in the moment storytelling and whatnot, as opposed to, where George Lucas was talking about, midichlorians and things like that, and the Darth Plagueis the Wise and all that. It's I definitely see this as more Lucasian.
All right, I dig it. I dig it. Let's move on to Kale's suggestion.
Okay.
All right.
And Kale
wants to tie it into Solo.
Yes. So Kale wants to ask it if it can write this as a continuation from the Maul ending in Solo. I think I do want to ask a Purgle question. I don't think I can pass up the I don't think I can pass up the chance to have that happen. All righty.
I love how upbeat and positive AI always is. They're always just like, can do, boss.
Yeah, right. Oh, don't worry. When it takes over, and scorches the sky, or we scorch the sky to like not. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant when Skynet, becomes self-aware at. What am I thinking? All right. So it says absolutely. Tying a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi into the underworld threads left open by something, because the screens are overlays covering it, left open by the Star Wars story. Does that say left? Does it say left open? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tying a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi into the underworld threads left open by Solo, a Star Wars story, is not only doable, but can give the series a fresh and interconnected narrative that expands both Obi-Wan's internal journey and the criminal underworld of the galaxy. Here's a rewritten synopsis that builds directly off Solo and connects Obi-Wan with threads like Crimson Dawn, Kira, and Maul without breaking canon.
It's very very deliberate to point out without breaking canon. So I want to see what it does here.
All right, so we have Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2. The title is Obi-Wan Kenobi Crimson Reign. REIG.
Crimson Rain, Crimson Rain.
Please, no. Oh, I hate Prince so bad. Oh, or so much, I should say. God, I can't talk tonight. I need sleep. All right, so 6 episodes. The setting is 8 years before A New Hope. Tone, noir-infused Jedi drama meets underworld thriller. All right. So synopsis: back on Tatooine, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Boy, he just doesn't get off Tatooine, which is not. It's not a surprise, but I wondered if it would kind of get him out in the galaxy, kind of here and there, like maybe he goes out for a space burger or something. I don't know, but I guess not. So back on Tatooine, Obi-Wan Kenobi lives a quiet, broken existence, watching over young Luke and trying not to draw attention. But his cover is blown when a bounty hunter arrives, not for him, but for a desperate refugee woman with ties to Crimson Dawn. Obi-Wan defeats the hunter and discovers a secret. Crimson Dawn has reemerged under the mysterious leadership of Lady Kira, now a ruthless figure weaving criminal power into galactic politics. Worse, the Syndicate is rumored to be acquiring Force-sensitive children and Jedi relics on the black market, part of a campaign to manipulate the Force as a weapon. Haunted by Maul's past involvement in Crimson Dawn, Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine once more. There, okay, now he's leaving. Okay. Tracking the Syndicate's operations to Corellia, Nar Shaddaa, and a secret vault world called Veltrax. Along the way, he reluctantly allies with Cora Venn, a streetwise pilot who once ran spice for Crimson Dawn, Bail Organa, who secretly helps fund resistance movements and provides Jedi intel, Karis Jal, a mysterious ex-Crimson Dawn enforcer now looking for redemption.
All right, Obi-Wan's got a posse. This is cool.
Interesting.
Main antagonist, Kira. All right.
So older, colder, and far more dangerous than when Han last saw her, Kira is no longer a puppet of Maul. He's gone, possibly presumed dead. She sees the Force not as religion but as leverage, and is hunting down forgotten Jedi lore to empower her grip on the underworld. She and Obi-Wan cross paths multiple times, challenging each other's views of control, survival, and legacy.
That would be a tough sell for me. I don't see anything that Kira gives a shit about having anything to do with Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean, I could... I don't know. Maybe it was just the portrayal of the character in Solo. But I mean, number one, unless I'm forgetting someone, Kira is my favorite female Star Wars character, besides Rey. But number two, there was always this conflict in her. Like, she was doing the bad guy stuff with Crimson Dawn because she had to. Like, if she was like a free agent, she would have been off with Han again in a heartbeat. I kind of felt like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, seeing her like go down this path that, you know. It makes total sense. It's you know, the Vader path and all that kind of stuff, and the Kylo Ren path, I guess. But
by the time the events of Kenobi season 1 happened, Maul is already dead, right?
Oh, see, there's so much stuff out there now. I get lost in the timeline.
No, because that takes place in Rebels, and Rebels is like, what, like 5 years, and it's like in the Andor kind of time frame, isn't it?
Yeah, Maul would still be around. So that would make sense, because it says Kira is no longer a puppet of Maul. He's gone, possibly presumed dead.
All right.
So
well, when he pops up in Rebels, he's on Corband, Malachor.
Ooh.
I forget the name of the planet, but it's that Sith world. So he's already like not doing Crimson Dawn anymore. And we don't know when he stops doing Crimson Dawn.
Ooh, I just came up with another idea we can do after this. This is going to be good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so conflict. Obi-Wan isn't drawn into a galactic war. He's drawn into a moral gray zone where Force relics are currency and lives are pawns. He has to navigate a galaxy that no longer sees Jedi as heroes, and where the line between hero and criminal blurs. He also learns that Kira is trying to fill a void the Jedi left behind. She's building a syndicate empire, not just of profit, but of order, something the Republic, the Jedi, and the Empire, have all failed to provide. Okay, interesting. So it's almost like capitalism versus religion in a way.
Mm.
And they kind of, the lines blur. Okay. Themes: power versus legacy. Is it better to wield power to fix a broken world or let it pass on? Jedi without a... when you're reading something and your brain sees a word before you get to it, it's like, oh, that's not the word. You know how, like, you know, you'll see, like, sometimes you'll just see something goofy like that. This is what my brain saw. Thankfully, I laughed and didn't say it out loud. It's the next bullet point. I saw Jedi without a car. I was like,
that explains all the talk about the speeder in episode 4.
Exactly. Oh my God. Jedi without a war. Can a Jedi serve peace without being a general or a guardian? That's interesting. Criminal empires as governance. How syndicates like Crimson Dawn replace the Republic in the margins of the galaxy.
I feel like they just rehashed that directly from what Book of Boba Fett should have been.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's kind of obvious too. I mean, we know that, you know, on some of the really far out places, you know, crime is king, and it's not really led by the Republic or Empire, whatever. Redemption in the shadows. Both Obi-Wan and Kira are trying to reclaim something lost, but from very different angles. All right.
Okay.
So
I'm not
scroll
loving this
down.
so much, but
Yeah.
let's see how it ends.
Yeah. This is my least favorite of the, 3 or 4 we've done. Okay, finale. Obi-Wan infiltrates a Crimson Dawn vault containing Jedi artifacts, hopefully a car, including a damaged holocron bearing Qui-Gon's final thoughts.
His final thought was,
I was just gonna say that. We already know his final thought. His final thought was shit that hurt.
I'm just thinking of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where like they see the cave with the carving. It's like, you wouldn't carve. You just say it.
How is it that we have combined like Monty Python and the Holy Grail with Star Wars so many times?
Right.
Kale McLeish, Jedi Without a Car. There we go. We just named our new album. Nice. Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyways. All right. So Obi-Wan infiltrates a Crimson Dawn vault containing Jedi artifacts, including a damaged holocron bearing Qui-Gon's final thoughts. He disables a Force artifact being manipulated to amplify fear in children, part of Kira's attempt to create influence over Force sensitives without becoming Sith. That is very Stephen King-esque.
I absolutely think that this would fit in Star Wars, though. It sounds bizarre and cheesy as hell when it's read like this, but if you could totally write a synopsis of many actual Star Wars stories that sound twice as bonkers as this.
Yes. In their final encounter, Kira lets Obi-Wan go, not out of mercy, but respect. Okay, that sounds like Kira. She believes he's already lost everything and is no threat to her in the future. Obi-Wan returns to Tatooine, scarred but wiser. The Syndicate lives on, but the Force has subtly shifted. He buries the holocron in the sand outside his hut. That doesn't feel like you really get anywhere, does it?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So Obi-Wan goes and does a thing, but it doesn't matter. That's my synopsis of this write-up.
That's what I thought too. All right, so that one wasn't so great.
But sequel hook.
All right, so okay, sequel hook. As Kira walks alone through her chambers on Dathomir, a shadowed voice speaks from a cracked transmitter. You've built an empire, my apprentice, but the real power lies deeper. The screen fades as she turns toward the red-lit doorway of an old Night Sister temple. Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's my least favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Kale McLeish. Lightsabers are hurty when they go inside you. Qui-Gon Jinn. Discuss Metal Joe. AJ, that's the next prompt. Star Wars and The New Hope, plus Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Give me the synopsis now. I have a new idea that I'd like to present. Yeah. Well, I have something that I want to see what happens.
Okay.
And this is something you and I agree on. So we're going to see if we can fix something that we both think is ridiculously shitty.
Okay.
So this is a brand new thing. I don't know if we have to start a new thread. Have it write a better Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Maul duel in Rebels. Or better, right? One that lasts more than like 1.4 seconds or something. 4.1, whatever the hell it was. AJ's writing, write a final confrontation between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul. Do we want to say in Rebels or? Oh, he says ignoring what occurred in Star Wars Rebels. All right, let's see. Here we go. Yes. Okay, well, it's already better. Absolutely. Here's a dramatic, emotional, and thematically grounded final confrontation between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul, set sometime during Obi-Wan's exile. Okay, it's already better. There we go. And it took me longer to read that sentence than it did for the whole damn fight to occur in the original. ignoring the events of Star Wars Rebels and instead giving them a definitive cinematic resolution. All right, I'll let you read this one.
Scene title: Ashes of Mandalore. Setting: picture it, Sicily, 1928. Anyway.
A Golden Girls reference. Damn.
Setting: a windswept ruin on a forgotten moon, once a Mandalorian outpost. Scorched Durasteel towers cast long shadows over a shallowy canyon. Shallowy? What the hell?
Shallowy.
Now you've infected me, man. The night sky is clouded. It was a dark and stormy night. Context: Maul, rebuilding power through criminal networks and Sith artifacts, has lured Obi-Wan off Tatooine by baiting him with Jedi refugees. He doesn't want to kill Obi-Wan for revenge anymore. He wants validation that the Jedi are truly gone, that Obi-Wan failed the galaxy as much as Maul did. Obi-Wan comes not out of duty, but to prevent Maul from using Force relics tied to ancient Sith holocrons.
Okay.
Take it away.
Scene begins. Obi-Wan steps into the silent ruin. Wind howls through collapsed structures. His lightsaber is at his side, unlit. Maul from the shadows.
Do we get to voice act? Are you Maul or are you Obi-Wan?
I think you could do a better Maul.
Let's do our best / worst character stuff here. So you want me to be Maul?
Yeah.
You came. You always do. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
It's okay. Where are the children, Maul? I'm doing the Kermit the Frog.
For now. You never ask the right question, Kenobi. Kenobi. There we go. We get our Sam Witwer going. Not why, not how, always where. Still a soldier, still a slave to duty.
Maul emerges, older, scarred, more refined, but the fire still burns beneath his eyes.
I thought killing you would free me. Then I thought breaking you would. But now I understand.
No, the fuck you don't. Shut up. We're the kids. Obi-Wan, softly. You want me to admit it.
That it was all meaningless. That the Jedi were fools. That you were a fool. You left me in pieces on Naboo, but the galaxy left us both in ruins.
Obi-Wan's hand lingers near his saber, but he doesn't draw it. You could have chosen peace, Maul. You still can.
Don't insult us both. Peace is for the dead.
Then why are you still searching?
Beat. Silence. Maul's expression flickers. Not rage, but sorrow. Because I have nothing else. You at least had Skywalker. And now look where he is.
You won't speak his name.
Maul ignites his double-bladed saber. Obi-Wan calmly ignites his own. The light bathes them in blue and red. No music, just wind. This is great. We got a radio play going on.
Can we just do breaking wind? It's like no music, just it's just like a squeaker fart. They're looking at each other like we need
This is
holy crap. Oh my god.
This is really devolving quickly.
Wow, no, this is as typical a Nerfherder episode as you could possibly get. Holy crap, man. Oh my god.
The duel.
The duel. A fast, brutal exchange. Maul is fueled by pain and speed. Obi-Wan is restrained, precise, defensive. The environment collapses around them, firelight and ruin. They fight across narrow bridges into the broken interior of the fortress. Maul screams names as he strikes.
I'm not screaming.
Okay. Satine, Qui-Gon, Anakin. Obi-Wan parries with growing sadness rather than anger. The duel slows, not from fatigue, but clarity. Eventually, Obi-Wan gains the upper hand, not through aggression, but by redirecting Maul's rage back at him. He disarms Maul, sends him crashing to the floor. Maul tries to rise. Obi-Wan places a saber near his chest. Final exchange.
Maul, bloodied and defiant. Then do it. Prove the Jedi would know better. Finish it.
You were never my enemy, Maul. Just lost.
Obi-Wan steps back, disengages his saber, turns away. Maul, gasping and shaking. Why won't you kill me?
Obi-Wan, without turning, because I am not here to end you. I am here to end what made you.
Ooh, that's a good line.
Yeah,
I like that one. Shit, someone animate this, please.
Right? As Obi-Wan walks away, Maul slumps. Alone again, the sound of rain begins to fall, gentle, almost cleansing, until another squeaker fart breaks the silence, piercing the rainfall. High, shrill, full of regret. Holy shit. I'm not going to be able to sing on Saturday, man. Oh, Coda. Later, Obi-Wan is seen returning to Tatooine. He places a broken Sith holocron into a stone box and buries it in the sand. Overhead, a binary sunset begins. Cut to Maul limping into the shadows of an old freighter, beaten but not dead. The war inside him far from over. Cale McLeish. Well, this was highbrow. Discuss Metal Joe. AJ wins the podcast. Oh my gosh.
So this is interesting though. I noticed I didn't put in like rewrite how Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul. I just said write a final confrontation, and it decided Obi-Wan wouldn't kill Maul.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, so it's
I was really hoping to come up with ridiculous crap that we could just mock, but this is some good stuff.
Oh, I got one we could mock because I have to see what it would say. But yeah, this is much better than what we got. Themes: revenge is hollow, survival isn't peace. Maul wants Obi-Wan to become what he hates. Obi-Wan refuses. Violence can end a fight, but compassion ends the war. Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right. And it lasts more than like 4.1 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
You see, Cale, I know you're a big fan of the actual duel in Rebels, but I'm sorry, man. Like this is why, like Cale McLeish, she says, get that full script so we can send it to animators to be made. We need this. See, Cale, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like all kidding aside, like I know you're a big fan of, you know, the duel, and there's a huge portion of the fan base that is, you know, very, very supportive of what we got in Rebels. But this thing that it just wrote to me, that is what I was kind of expecting. Something much more fleshed out, you know, something more emotional. I mean, when it lasts only a few seconds, none of that is there. It's like almost implied, because you don't have time to really, by the time you realize it's about to happen, it's been over for a few seconds already.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's why I always said it's like anticlimactic. That's the way I always kind of looked at it. So
yeah,
I like this a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, it has squeaker farts. So yeah. All right. Well, I wonder what it would say if, let's see, who do I want to be the like the protagonist here? Let's see. So many choices. Write a story about Han Solo purging the galaxy of Purgle.
Write a story about Han Solo purging the galaxy of Purgle. Is that how it's spelled?
Yes. Yes.
Sure. Here's a dramatic what-if style Star Wars story that explains what might happen if Han Solo, years after the fall of the Empire, were pulled into a mission to eliminate the Purrgil, the massive hyperspace-traveling space whales known for their connection to the Force and mythic power. This story diverges from canon and is written as a darker, grittier take on Han's arc, framed in the tone of a morally gray sci-fi western.
Yes.
Shadows of the Void coming back. Okay. It loves the words like shadows and void and stuff like that.
Yeah. Look at oh man, look at that. All right, so genre space western, sci-fi war drama. It's set 15 years after Return of the Jedi. Main characters Han Solo, aging smuggler turned hero, now adrift without a war. Lieutenant Vex Mora, a cold, brilliant New Republic xenobiologist. Chewbacca, loyal as ever, troubled by Han's changing morality. Hopefully it's because he's like obliterating these things. Captain Kari Knox, Purrgil worshiper, so she's an idiot, and mystic of the unknown regions. The Purrgil, stupid, fat, dumb space whales. Okay, I got that right. This is great already, man. Synopsis: Peace never suited Han Solo.
It wins already. I love the fact that they're like, nah, Han's bloodthirsty. He just wants to wreck shit.
I know. With the Empire defeated and the galaxy healing, Han finds himself lost, detached from Leia and the politics of the New Republic. When hyperspace lanes across the Outer Rim begin collapsing, dozens of freighter crews vanish, and ports suffer devastating damage. The blame falls on a single cause. The Purrgil have returned in larger numbers with stranger behavior. See? Didn't we talk about this? Like they're flying through hyperspace. Like you can't like chart for the damn thing, so ships are going to run into them. This is just proving me right. This might be the best idea I've ever had. All right. The New Republic offers Han a job. Hunt the Purrgil. Oh my God, take my money. I want this movie. I want this movie. I don't care how bad it is. I want this movie. Han Solo hunting Purrgil. This is fabulous. Oh, I'm so smart. It's not technically extermination, just quote unquote route clearing and threat containment. Needing purpose and pay. Purpose. Here, go kill all these animals.
Yeah.
Han signs on with a covert task force led by Lieutenant Vex Mora, a calculating scientist who believes the Purrgil are evolving or being controlled.
Ooh.
The plot thickens. Mm-hmm. Han's team begins deploying gravitation mines and hyperspace snares. Oh, graviton mines, excuse me. Please tell me the whales. It's like I'm picturing flying over this mine and like, boom, like whale ship.
Right. I'm picturing something like The Boys.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes. All right, so Han's team begins deploying graviton mines and hyperspace snares, herding Purrgil into traps in deep space. But things go wrong. A trap malfunctions, and Han witnesses a Purrgil emit a force wave, killing 3 commandos and disintegrating a starfighter, a display of power beyond known physics. Well, that's why you got to kill the damn things. Chewbacca urges Han to leave the mission. They're not animals, he growls. They're more than we understand. But Han shrugs it off. Yeah, well, I don't understand war either, and that sure as hell didn't stop it. As the campaign intensifies, Han begins experiencing, scroll please, experiencing visions, echoes of the past. Luke, Leia, the Death Star, even young Ben Solo. Yeah. Each vision happens in the presence of the Purrgil, hinting that they interact with the Force through hyperspace itself, like ghost currents in time. Oh, this is awful, and that's why they need to die. Han starts to question the mission. Then everything changes when they encounter Kari Knox, a human woman raised in the Outer Void who speaks the language of the Purrgil. She claims the creatures are fleeing a darkness from outside the galaxy and that killing them weakens the Force's natural flow. Oh, no, it doesn't, you whale bastards.
Oh, final act. Han must choose.
Help Mora finish deploying a weapon that will permanently blind a hyperspace corridor, severing the Purrgil's ancestral path. Or betray the Republic, sabotage the mission, and side with the Purrgil and Kari to protect the fragile bridge between space and the Force. I know what I'm picking. Haunted by his past and ashamed of how far he's strayed, Han makes his choice. He turns the Falcon's guns on the Republic cruiser. He frees the last surviving pod of Purgle. He flees into the unknown regions with Kari, Chewbacca, and only the stars as his compass, and leaves John Drake in the biggest conundrum of his Star Wars fandom.
Even AI doesn't want to kill the Purgle.
Oh. Han Solo wouldn't do that. He would just murder the bastards. That's mine. I'm writing my own. Han Solo just goes hunting them, and and he just blows them up in more violent and explosive whale ways. You know.
Oh, the epilogue gets even better for you, though, buddy.
Oh God. All right,
read it.
Yeah, read it. Epilogue. Leia receives a message on a private channel. I don't expect forgiveness, but I remembered what it feels like to stand between the galaxy and something bigger than all of us. I think I understand Luke a little better now. In the deep black beyond the maps, Han Solo watches as the Purgle vanish into hyperspace, this time taking him with them.
Ooh, buddy.
All right.
This is the future we all feared with AI.
Ask it to rewrite it with Han Solo decimating every Purgle in existence, and use that damn word. Use all those words. Han Solo, in my AI fantasy, is just crushing these things. Yes. Now we're going to get some good stuff. Sure, here's a darker alternate universe version of the story in which Han Solo, shaped by trauma and bitterness in the years following the Galactic War, embarks on a ruthless campaign to eliminate the Purgle entirely. Now we're getting somewhere. See, look at this. Just all right, whatever.
We're gonna skim this a little bit. So it's called Void Reaper. Love it. Now we're 20 years on instead of 15 from Return of the Jedi.
Tone, bleak, atmospheric, and mythic. It's bleak. I love it. All right. So it's still like fleets are, fleets vanishing in transit. Okay. Purgle are blamed for disturbances. The New Republic tries diplomacy. Outer Rim warlords try prayer. Han Solo brings war. Yes! Yes! That's awesome. Oh, this is great. Grief has turned him cold. Blaming the Purgle for enabling Ezra Bridger's disappearance and the chain of events that shattered Luke's Jedi Order, Han comes to believe they are cosmic parasites, bending time and force energy beyond comprehension. See, now this is the Han's onto something in this one. The Purgle War. This is Han Solo piloting a custom refitted YT-2000 class freighter dubbed the Black End. Oh, when he shoots all those.
Want to see my black end?
I was gonna say when he shoots all those things in the ass, they're gonna have a black end. Organizes a Rim coalition of disgruntled captains, bounty hunters, and force skeptical systems. He arms them with gravitational harpoons, anti-FS torpedoes, and hyperspace lures forged from Jedi relics. They begin systematically hunting the Purgle. Colonies orbiting Lothal fall silent after Purgle stampedes. Han strikes them down with tactical traps that destabilize their navigation through hyperspace. He decodes their migration routes and poisons key nexuses with radiation pulses. This is great. Scroll, please. The galaxy watches in awe and horror as Han decimates pod after pod of the ancient creatures, eventually luring the last remaining Purgle matron to a graveyard moon and obliterating her in a supernova trap. This is awesome. This is the best.
Oh, this is great. I love this next part. The character arc. Chewbacca leaves him early in the campaign, unable to stomach the slaughter. Leia tries to stop him. Once. My Leia tried to stop me once. Han sends her away. He loses his allies one by one, consumed by the obsession to restore order through destruction. In his mind, the Purgle represent everything that took the galaxy out of human hands. Force mysticism, chaos, uncontrollable destiny. If he can kill them, maybe the galaxy can be ruled by reason again. He succeeds.
This is awesome.
All
Finale.
right,
With the
read
last-
the funnel.
With the last of the Purgle dead, hyperspace becomes cold, empty, and eerily stable. The Force grows quiet. Jedi relics cease glowing. Ancient temples fall inert. The galaxy has lost something permanent. Han returns to Tatooine. No one throws him a parade. No one comes looking for him. He sits alone in a cantina under two suns, drinking rot gut and listening to static on old Rebel channels.
This is so fucking bleak.
This is awesome. Oh, all right. Epilogue. Decades later, children tell ghost stories of a man in a black freighter who hunted space gods and won. They call him the Void Reaper.
Jesus Christ.
But some Force users whisper that the stars themselves now die without dreaming, and that the Force has grown thinner in the outer rim, all because one man killed the galaxy's last bridge to the infinite. This is the...
So would you like this developed into a short story, screenplay format, or visual art prompts?
a trilogy of movies. Here's your episode 10, 11, and 12.
Is this what we're going to wrap up on? Is we're writing a new trilogy?
I'm telling you.
The Void Reaper trilogy?
This is... Oh. Are you really doing it? It's AJ's typing. Develop the story into a trilogy of movies. Star Wars Void Reaper trilogy.
Think Rogue One meets Dune.
With elements
Jeez.
of Apocalypse Now. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, this is fantastic. I can't believe that. I can't believe this. This is absolutely fantastic.
All right, so let's see. We gotta summarize this stuff here. So at the end of the first of the three movies, he launches his first successful Purgle hunt.
We let the stars run wild too long. Wow. Oh, wait, what was the name of the first one? The movie title.
The Hollow Hyperspace.
Okay. So now we're on episode 2. Okay.
Reign of the Void.
REIGN, yeah.
Tagline.
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 If you want peace, burn the map. Man, oh man.
So for years he's been doing this now. Apparently we're picking up years later, and now he's got an entire fleet hunting Purgle.
Chewbacca has left. Leia publicly denounces Han's campaign. Jedi temples begin losing energy. Oh man. Okay.
Wow.
That is crazy. So Han captures a woman who is a survivor of a destroyed Purgle pod. Okay. So she's saying that their extinction is unraveling fate. Scroll, please. Han captures her. She looks him in the eye. You're not saving the galaxy. You're thinning its soul. In the climax, Han wipes out the matron pod, the last known core of Purgle intelligence. Hyperspace stabilizes. The Force dims. Velnara escapes in the unknown region. Episode 3 is Echoes Beyond Light. Tagline: The stars remember. All right, so Force sensitivity is fading. Temples have gone cold. Jedi initiates cannot hear the Force. So basically, in my lust for getting rid of the Purgle, I've kind of like destroyed the Force.
Yes, you've just obliterated all of Star Wars, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations. You brought an end to the franchise with your fan fiction, sir.
Go JT. Go JT. Go JT. Holy shit.
My God.
Okay.
Oh my God. I love this. Han, now in hiding, is withering under the weight of his legacy. The Black End, his flagship, lies abandoned in a desert hangar on Jakku. Jakku? He's sought by remnants of the Jedi, bounty hunters, and even Leia, who still believes he can atone.
Oh. Wow.
The Purgle weren't the threat. They were the lock keeping something worse out. Oh, dude. Can't get away from it. The Purgle are the good guys.
Wow. Okay. He sacrifices himself by flying the black end into the eye of the star wound, carrying a dormant Purgle egg recovered by Velnara to reignite the lost tide of force balance. No. No, damn it. That is not how it ends. I like the other ending better. I would change this. No, I don't want it coming back. Damn it. If Han Solo's going to ruin everything, he's going to ruin everything. I don't want this
In his
happy
final
ending
act,
bullshit.
Han broadcasts a message across the stars.
I
Final
broke
act.
something. Yeah. I broke something. I know that now. So I'm going to fix it the only way I know.
I broke wind.
I know that now. Oh my God. Oh, this is awesome. Holy crap. Yep, he says, discuss Metal Joe. At least make the final confrontation Han Solo punching the Purgle in the face, Iron Fist style. I got one that's gonna be.
Absolutely. Let's embrace the absurd, the epic, and the full mythic weight of space-fisted vengeance. Here is the final climactic moment of the Star Wars Void Reaper trilogy, rewritten to culminate not in tragedy, not in balance, but in Han Solo punching the last living Purgle in the face with the fury of 1,000 parsecs. The punch heard across the stars.
Get out of here. What is going on? Holy crap. On the deck of the Black End, Han lowers his blaster. His ship is failing. His crew's gone. The galaxy hangs by a thread. But Han, he's got one thing left.
Interior airlock. Black End. Steam hisses. Metal groans. Han stands in a prototype 0G pressure suit powered by repulsor lift coils and too much whiskey. His fists are wrapped in Durasteel plated gloves. There's a target painted on one knuckle. This. The other says, Nerf.
Oh my God. Now is that a Nerf logo? So it's like, is it actually like a kid's toy? Or... Chewbacca overcomes distant. Han, don't do this. That thing's connected to the Force. You can't just punch the Force. You read the next one out loud.
Oh no. No. We don't say that online. We don't.
Look, this is AI. This is where AI is going. Han, Titan's gloves. I've punched worse. I was married to a Skywalker. Oh
why am I reading in my head? I'm reading that in like the robot chicken Rocky voice. I punched worse. I was married to a Skywalker.
Right.
No, sorry, that was more like Lando Calrissian. But anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did AI just say that Han Solo was physically abusing Leia?
I guess so.
What the hell is happening here? Wow.
Or maybe Luke stepped in the middle of a fight and he punched Luke. I don't know.
Let's go that route because I really don't want to. I don't want to even think about the other thing. It's like, especially not bringing that out on the show. Holy crap. Okay. Void of space. Han blasts forward through Han blasts forward through vacuum on micro thrusters, flying like a rusted comet of fury. The Purgle slowly turns its head, majestic, unknowable, shimmering with hyperspace light. Its pupil is the size of a starfighter. Han, shouting into the vacuum, unheard by all living things. This is for my son. He cocks back his arm as gravity around the beast warps. Force energy lashes out like lightning. The Purgle opens its mouth. A swirling vortex of starlight begins to form. Han ignites a small magnetic field and launches himself like a railgun shot, flying towards the Purgle's glowing eye. The punch.
The punch. Close up, time slows. Han Solo, Corellian smuggler, scoundrel, hero of the rebellion, punches the last living Purgle square in the face. The impact sends a shockwave across hyperspace, creating a ripple visible from Coruscant to Dagobah. The Purgle explodes, not in gore, but in light, dissolving into constellations, fading into stardust. The breach seals. The Force hums again. Han floats unconscious, drifting like a stubborn legend through the dark.
I got it. This one, Coda. Back on Tatooine, a child looks up at the night sky. Child, Mama, look, that star just winked. Her mother smiles. Mother, that's not a star, sweetheart. That's the fist of Han Solo. Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. Oh, no. I want to do one more. I'm combining genres.
It suggested it. Oh
no. Oh,
I blame myself. In preparation for the show, I tried to get it to write a better episode 7, and I asked for visuals, and that's where all my image credits for the day went.
Oh,
damn it.
Just okay, but I can still ask mine then. Okay, all I want is words. All right. Describe how the Iron Sheik would kill a Purgle.
Oh God. Oh my God. We have really jumped the shark now, haven't we?
This will only take a few minutes, and I just with Hulk Hogan dying last week or whenever the heck it was. Okay. How the
absolutely unhinged brilliance of this crossover.
There we go. How the Iron Sheik would kill a Purgle. All right, let's see some. I
love the quote.
Discuss Metal Joe. JT is Han Solo in Purgle Puncher. Kale McLeish, that line made me laugh so hard the dogs got concerned. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. We're gonna have to do this again. Okay. How the Iron Sheik would kill a Purgle. I break your back, make you homebad, even in space, Bubba. Discuss Metal Joe. The whale, AJ. You've jumped the whale. Target. The Purgle. A majestic, force-sensitive, hyperspace traveling space whale. Ancient, massive, peaceful. Until the Iron Sheik decides it's jabroni time in the stars. The setup. The galaxy's in chaos. Hyperspace lanes are clogged by migrating Purgle. The Jedi can't reason with them. The Senate debates endlessly, but one hologram transmission interrupts the Senate chambers. Iron Sheik hologram. I could yell, but there's people in the house sleeping. You bring me this big fish from the outer space. I put him in the camel clutch. I break his neck. I break his spine. I make him homebad. Step by step method of destruction. Oh my God. 1, launch into orbit in a rocket shaped like a wrestling boot. Funded by Galactic Wrestling Federation, GWF, painted with the Iranian flag and the words "Old Country Man." 2, intercept the Purgle using trash talk and cosmic protein powder. He sprays the void with space humble dust.
Trademark.
Exactly. Thank you. Luring the Purgle into a confused trance while shouting, "Come here, you cosmic jabroni. You fly like Rikishi's butt in zero gravity." 3,
camel clutch in zero gravity.
He grapples the Purgle's face in deep space, floats onto its quote-unquote head, and applies the first ever interstellar camel clutch using anti-gravity wrestling boots with magnetic knee support. The Purgle lets out a telepathic scream. The force trembles, a ripple through hyperspace. All right, read the finisher.
The finisher. The Iron Sheik reaches into his championship belt, pulls out a vial of Jedi tears mixed with Tabasco, and pours it into the Purgle's blowhole while screaming, "You no respect me. You no respect the galaxy. You go to hell, big space fish." The Purgle explodes into stardust shaped like a steel chair.
Aftermath. The galaxy celebrates. Planets chant, "Sheik, Sheik, Sheik." Even Darth Vader's helmet nods silently in respect. A statue of the Iron Sheik is erected on Coruscant, mid-camel clutch, flexing on top of a hyperspace ring. Oh my God. This is the dumbest thing we have ever done.
I think it is.
Holy crap.
I really think it is.
Yeah, there's Discuss Metal Joe. Yeah, the person cannot move these clubs because they are weak. Dave Hudek. AI told me I could have watched porn instead of this. It also said if it wrote Star Wars, it would only change Dagobah to a pizzeria. Nice. Oh my God. Oh, all right. So obviously we got a little silly there at the end, but
oh, just at the end.
yeah, just at the end. No, I honestly, I think it was kind of interesting. I'd like to revisit this at some point, with some other ideas. Like obviously we could do like other franchises or something. But there was we had 4 like pretty lengthy ideas for Kenobi season 2, and outside of that last one, I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say probably the second one I liked the best. Excuse me, the best.
Yes, you
But,
got onto the Purgle. I was hoping to eventually get around to Ahsoka, but we'll have to like leave that for another day, I guess.
Yeah.
I would like to use AI to write stories around plot holes. Like, where the hell was Ahsoka during the Galactic Civil War?
Okay, that's a good one. It's it. Kale McLeish, dude, this was absolutely hilarious. After we do Moonraker, we should ask for a Bond Star Wars crossover. Solo, Han Solo. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's whew. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sing very well on Saturday. All right.
Now, with all the weird stuff that we just put, do you think that this is doing a better job than the writers at Disney?
It's hard to say because, well, okay, I like the Maul Obi-Wan duel a lot better, the one that AI came up with than what we got in Rebels. It's just there's not enough meat on that bone in the show. And I'll die on that hill, and I know you and I are completely in lockstep on that one. It's just there's nothing there. You cannot build that thing up as much as it was built, and then just completely end it within seconds. It's the one thing I always think of when I think of that is how UFC, like at its peak, they were going to have events like major main events on public television, like NBC or something like that. And the very first one, they had 2 just like it was a heavyweight championship fight, and those things go 5 rounds, and you've got, I think it was Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, if I remember right. And they had like 2 or 3 hours of like pre-match stuff on on television, and a couple fights, and just the hype was crazy, and the fight itself lasted like 90 seconds. You're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the worst possible outcome for the promotion, because they wanted to show, people that wouldn't normally pay for a pay-per-view but might check it out for free, that, oh, this is really good entertainment. And Dave, it says, I'm hoping for an AI Passion of the Christ 2, The Reckoning. We are blaspheming like crazy. But yeah, so I like that. I mean, there is no Kenobi season 2, so it's hard to say if they're doing better. I think the ideas were good, some better than others. I especially think those first 2, season ideas that it came up with were really good. The George Lucas one was cool, but I could see why some fans might crap on it. And then obviously that last one I don't think really worked. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And so, yeah, I think, doing it again sometime and seeing if like I'm filling in plot holes or something, like would it have come up with a better idea for an Ahsoka series? I don't know that it would have, to be honest with you, because I think because of the information that it draws from, I just think it would be, I hate using this word, but it's the only word that comes to mind, a little stock. I mean, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, I've already said that twice, so I couldn't use it again. Otherwise, that'd be our word of the show.
Right.
But
Yeah, no, I would love to point AI at the Ahsoka series because I'm trying to rewatch it, and it's not about Ahsoka. That's its biggest crime, is that it's not about Ahsoka. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could do better than this. You can call it whatever the hell you want. Just don't call it Ahsoka.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, maybe that's a whole episode. You know.
Yeah, we got season 2 showing up eventually next year, I think, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think we're done with Star Wars for the year. There's nothing else coming out.
Well, that sucks because I'm ready for some new stuff.
Well, if they're going to go for quality over quantity, I'm all for it. But you got to have one or the other. You can't have neither.
Yeah, no, yeah. All right. Well, on that note, why don't we close up shop for this one? That was fun. That was a good time. We should definitely do that again. Again, if we apply AI to other franchises, that would be, sorry, it got a little silly. I just kind of went down the silly rabbit hole, and I just,
I'm not sorry at all. That was amazing.
Sorry. The Han Solo, the dark Han Solo killing the Purgle, I think was the best one. That was just unbelievable. Han Solo, like that star wasn't winking. That was Han Solo's fist. Like
right. I love that.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Like, yeah, this was some good stuff, man. So yeah. Let me check my calendar here. We are at good Lord. See, I'm laughing so much I can't even talk.
Right.
So we are out of here for the night, but we will be back on Wednesday, August 13th at 8 Eastern time. So come hang out with us then. And it's actually my best friend's birthday. My best friend Andy will be turning 49 that day. So I'll be saying happy birthday to him. But yeah, check us out on all of our usual platforms, obviously Facebook and YouTube, and also the Facebook and YouTube of the Virtual Cantina Network, as well as the Nerfherder Council Twitch page. If you are watching on either YouTube channel and have not done so yet, don't forget to click that like button, click the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live. As always, guys, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you'd like to get some customizable Nerfherder Council swag, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. And if you would like to get some awesome Virtual Cantina Network swag, just go to tpublic.com/user/virtual cantina. Real quick before we get out of here, we would be remiss if we did not mention that the Virtual Cantina is a proud sponsor of Rebel ScumCon 2025, occurring from August 8th through the 10th at the Frisco Convention Center. So check that out. And of course, there is going to be a Bunta at Rebel ScumCon thrown by our amazing friend, one of the main dudes here at the Virtual Cantina Network. Spencer Jowitz is putting it on. So pull that up here. I'm trying to remember the name of the bar, but let's see. There we go. It's Bunta Eve Special Edition Texas. It will be on Friday, August 8th, and it will be at 8 p.m. Go till midnight with live band karaoke, full bar, and food menu. Keeps going after midnight. It is at the Revel Patio Grill, 9305 Preston Road in Frisco, Texas. There are actually 13 exclusive celebrities appearing at the Bunta Eve Special that will not be at Rebel ScumCon. So you get some extra celebrity appearances if you're into the autograph thing and meeting famous people and stuff. So make sure to check that out. So until next time, guys, thanks again for tuning in to the Nerfherder Council. I am your host, JT. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579 on X and Blue Sky.
And we will catch you next time.